It was night at Brendan Docks, and James had to work for Thomas. The big red engine was supposed to take a goods train to the other side of the island as punishment after being being very pouty. James didn't even like it, but he had to do it as he told. James shivered as his train was ready. In the distance, he could hear a car horn very loudly echoed around the dock area. Whatever that horn, that thing whistle rolls in, said Thomas, but the legend says it was a ghost. And there's folk about it, and also a ghost, a monster too. Take care along the old line, James. I don't want to have to do something with you. Crazy car. That thing's really giving me a headache. James said, and then he puffed down the line towards the cars, fog, monsters. Thomas got himself into the boiler. There's no music I can see. Soon they entered the quietest part of the island. Then he could see something. What's that flickering light on that sign? Said James. It looks like it's an Empress lamp, said his driver. If I remember something like that years ago, that's one like those codes to say. It says like, get the hell out of here, you heads. Who's there? No one replied. James crept slowly forwards. They stopped by a tree. It had a sign written to it, written in mud, "Beware of the monster." James' driver was surprised. No, the one about that crazy thing before. And look here, there's something flashing. It looks like a signal. Looks red. And look at the crossing has been covered up by big footprints and leaves. It's almost like a cleaner's coat. But where's its owner? He seems like someone who's trying to get this Jesus scare of us. Then he saw something moving in the station building. Monster, said James. Thomas is right. Something's really sketchy about this place. I think we better go back. So do I, said James, and he ran off. But by morning, the mist had cleared. A workman told him about his drop boat told James and his crew about the place. Oh, I never know about that monster before, he said. Luckily, Thomas warned you. Yes, I may be suspicious that he's the only engine who knows exists, replied James's driver. Later that day, he spoke to James. This buck monster figure has been called off. We can take the train back on the old line tonight. James was not convinced that it might be one of Thomas's pranks after he heard about the incident last night. When nightfall came, he was simmering nicely. Suddenly, a car hooted, then Connor rotted by. Oh, look! James got spooked, said the truck, and the others giggled in a silly way. You, I will kill you if you keep doing like this. But he was a little. Moments later, the fog came down. As they approached the same area, they could see the amber light again. Here we go, said the engine's driver, rolling his eyes. Unbeknownst to the trucks, the gates mysteriously closed by themselves, and something happening that shocked them very violently. Slower! There's a monster about! On, said James. I will show that silly Thomas that he can't fight me so easily. The mysterious figure watched James go by. Ahead was a landslide blocking the line. The trucks braked hard and James hit some of the rubble and plunged into the station wall. Ouch, that hurts. Just then, James's driver saw a strange sight standing on the other side of the demolished waiting room. Who's that? He said. The farmer went forward and he pulled out the mask. That's our bog monster. It's old Mr. Jenkins, you're one of our workers. You say what? Oh, Mr. Jenkins was very frightened by James' sudden appearance. All right, it was me, he said. I found all this extra gold when I cleaned out the toilet a few nights ago. I want to take it all the gold for myself, so I told Thomas about this bug monster to scare everyone away. Why are you even scared too? Because, well, we were actually curious. You make like a really rubbish monster, he said. Is there any way we can do something with you, James? No, I don't want to do anything. Ugh, I'm disgusted. This is really not good. Okay, stop complaining, he said. I'll give all the gold back if you give me another chance. I promise that I'll spook you in silly words. Unless I won't. And a little after a while, after James fell to the ground, after whom Mr. Jenkins tried to shake his buffer, which was granted. The gold was handed over to the council the next day, and old Mr. Jenkins was given 6 months for personing and persing of swamping descent. The fat control held a ceremony and attestation. Whilst in all your petted lives, you and your crew have been really useful, said the fat control to James. That James was still embarrassed. Let's hear a hearty thank to the steamiest Ghostbuster on the island. Everyone cheered, except for James, who was the most traumatizing of them all.